Students, today we are going to discuss the most important topic, whether you can take IPE intermediate or you can take NCERT board or any other board. This is the most important question in intermediate first year or NCERT first year or 11th class, what it may be. So today we are discussing about a simple pendulum. So what are the conditions for simple harmonic motion? The first condition for simple harmonic motion is it should be to and fro. It should be to and fro. It should go to and fro along the same path. The path should not change. In a simple pendulum, you know the path is not going to change here. That is the first condition for simple harmonic motion. Then what is the next condition here? The next condition is the body is going to stop at this place and at this place, and it's having maximum velocity at the mean position. These two are called as extreme position. This is going to be the mean position. And acceleration is always pointed towards the mean position here. The acceleration is pointed always towards the mean position. That should be remembered here. So acceleration of a body is always directly proportional to displacement. The acceleration is in this direction, whereas displacement is in the opposite direction. As the first starting position is considered as mean position, that is going to be the starting point, and the body displaces from mean to extreme position. So acceleration is directed towards the mean position, and acceleration is directly proportional to displacement. Acceleration is in this direction, whereas displacement in the opposite direction. Velocity is going to be 0 and velocity is going to be maximum here. Therefore, acceleration is directly proportional to displacement but opposite in direction. So that's why we have taken minus sign here. Negative sign indicates both are in the opposite direction. Acceleration is in this direction, displacement is in the opposite direction. When you remove the proportionality, you are going to get one constant. This is the rule in physics. You are getting K here, okay? So now, simple harmonic motion is expressed in terms of harmonic functions like sine and cos always. Every simple harmonic motion is expressed in terms of mathematical expressions like sine and cos. That's ultimate. It's a very awesome experiment. It's a very awesome topic. It's very interesting topic. Let us see here what is going to happen. So this is a simple pendulum which is fixed at the rigid support. This pendulum, when it is in the extreme position, what is going to happen here? One thing is mg is always directed towards the mean position, and this is going to be mg cos theta, and this is going to be mg sin theta. Every time adjacent to angle you are getting mg cos theta, and this is mg always vertically downwards, and in this direction the other component which is going to be mg sin theta. So let us discuss about what is the meaning of restoring force. Before that, a complete oscillation starts from mean position, goes to the extreme position, goes to the another extreme position, again comes to the mean position. This is going to be one oscillation here. This is going to be one oscillation here. Okay, so this is called as time period. Time taken for one oscillation is called as time period in this case. That is going to be 2 seconds if you take a seconds pendulum. You know, olden days we used to use a seconds pendulum clock here, which was very huge. There was one pendulum which used to decide the time in the olden days. But nowadays we are using a cell to work a watch. But previously we used to use pendulum for time. We used to use pendulum clock for seeing the time here. That's the reason here. Let us see. So time period is going to be 2 seconds for every oscillation. So oscillation starts from mean to extreme, extreme to other extreme to mean here. So time taken for each and every oscillation is going to be 2 seconds here in this case. It's very interesting. So tension is upwards, mg cos theta is downwards, and this is going to be mg sin theta. I just told you what is the meaning of restoring force. Restoring force is a force which brings the pendulum from extreme position to the mean position. A restoring force is a force which brings the pendulum from extreme position to the mean position. Because whenever the pendulum moves to the extreme position, it restores in that and bring back to the mean position. That is the concept here. That's why the name given, restoring force. which will store and bring back to the mean position. So this is mg sin theta, mg cos theta, mg sin theta, this is mg. Now, this part, if you observe, this is just like a sector in a complete circle. This is just like a sector in a complete circle. So, in a sector, you know, in mensuration, there is one formula. Arc is equal to radius into angle. Arc of a sector is going to be radius into angle in this case. Let us see. This is going to be the arc here. Your work is over there. Hey baby, come down. That's enough. I explained about that. Come down. Don't waste the time. Very good. So this is going to be the arc. This is going to be the radius and this is going to be the angle. So arc is equal to radius into angle. Okay. So what is the restoring force here? Restoring force is minus mg sin theta. Minus sign indicates that it is opposite to the direction of the force applied to bring to the mean position here. As it is, restoring force acts always in the opposite direction to the motion of a pendulum. That is considered as minus mg sin theta. That should be remembered here. So, you know, according to Newton's second law, F is equal to ma. This is minus mg sin theta. So, mm gets cancelled. A is equal to minus mg sin theta. If theta is very, very small in trigonometry, tan theta or sin theta is considered as theta here. So I am considering this as theta here. Okay. So sin theta is replaced with theta. So A is equal to minus G into theta. Arc is equal to radius. Arc is Y. Radius is L. Angle is theta. So Y is equal to R into theta. So R means length of the pendulum here in this case. L into theta, you are right. Therefore, theta is going to be Y by L here. So we got the value of theta, which is Y by L, and that value should be replaced in the previous formula. So here if you write A is equal to minus G into the value of theta, that is taken as Y by L. And you all know the general formula for acceleration according to this chapter called as rotatory motion. A is called as minus omega square into theta. That is the formula for acceleration. There is a general formula for acceleration. A is equal to minus omega square into y here. That's it. So already we got G by L separately because we wrote theta as y by L here. So general formula for acceleration is A is equal to minus omega square into y. That's it. This is a very simple concept. Make 1 and 2 equal. Make 1 and 2 equal. Then what is going to happen? Let us see here. So you'll get omega square is equal to G by L. Omega square is equal to G by L. That's it. Your work is over. That's a very simple derivation. Simple derivation, it's very simple. But definitely damn sure it is going to come. If it is NEET or mains, you'll get some problems based on this. And if it is board exams, definitely you'll get one essay question based on this. So here, omega square is equal to G by L. Omega is equal to root of G by L you are getting. Therefore, you all know there is one more formula for omega. Omega is equal to 2 pi by t because t is equal to 2 pi by omega. You can get this formula from the chapter called as rotatory motion. That's it. You're getting now omega is equal to root of G by L and omega is equal to 2 pi by t here. So these two formulas if you make equal, you just make it reciprocal. Then we'll be getting t by 2 pi is equal to root of L by G. That's it. Over. You'll be getting time period. T is equal to 2 pi root of L by G. That's it. That's it. Very simple. So, welcome to our channel, Fakhruddin Academy Physics. This is just to help the children to clear their board examinations as well as any other examinations. Thank you very much. All the best.